Welcome back, and tonight we're going to talk about Bitcoin today. We are seeing the log scale chart, and you see here a beautiful chart very similar to the South Sea bubble chart, just not right there. Very beautiful Bitcoin and the South Sea bubble chart, and people get offended when we make this comparison. Don't worry, I am friendly fire for crypto people here. So if we go to the platform, you will see we are stuck with Bitcoin in the range. Let me turn down the music. We've been here for 3 months. 3 months since June, stuck in the range and going nowhere. So what's going on? We have all the information that Bitcoin is waiting for the grand finale of the Federal Reserve, most likely September 21, 2022. So 3 months, June, July, August and September, and you get now half of it, and it moves to the weekly charts. Bitcoin is in a waiting mode, moving there, doing nothing. It really looks like gold and silver when they get stuck, and you get all this selling. Later you get it down because someone was controlling the price or keeping all the supply and demand in balance, and then you get the crash or the explosion. In this case, we are all expecting a deflationary scenario because the Fed promised their hand, and now the best information that I picked this is by this guy here named Julian Hosp, the CEO of Cake DeFi. Looks like a nice guy, but the important thing is that he tweeted something that was on Glassnode. 216,000 Bitcoin or 4 billion USD sent to the exchange. This was published yesterday. Ready to be sold. This is the highest inflow since the COVID crash. Have you checked all these inflows, which are the yellow lines? Every time you see this inflow, you get a dump. You get a dump in a 1 month ahead, and you get a dump for some weeks. And now we are even higher. You check. You see the here. The massive inflow is only close to the previous dump to the COVID crash. So what's going on with the forward curves? USD LIBOR rates, 30 days, 1 month rates was at the beginning of March. This curve I was showing in previous videos. The top was around 4%, now 4.5%. So I've been warning the subs that there's going to be a shock hidden behind the shock. That's the most likely thing in the interest rate risk that we are seeing now, because the market is pricing that the Federal Reserve will stop between 4.5. Yesterday we were talking the same. The risk is that they won't stop there, and they will have to go higher to 5.50 at the least, and that will be a shock for the market, and that's not priced. So it's 20% more according to Ray Dalio, and again another crash. So if they control the price of food and the price of crude oil, that's good news. But if you don't control the price, because you can increase interest rates, and that doesn't mean that you will control inflation, because in Argentina we have 75% interest rates and inflation keeps going up, and that's the reason, because one of the main factors is the confidence. You have to have confidence in the system, and that's why we've been warning that and we will correct after years of sacrifice. So in Argentina we are heading to 100% inflation, 75% interest rate is now, and the risk we could go higher, but at least the government is closing the deficit. Is the United States closing the fiscal deficit? No, it isn't. So the path of the Argentinian path will be what will be guiding what is coming to the United States if they don't control the fiscal spending. There is no single signal that they're going to do that. So we may get a temporary inflationary crash, and then everybody will run for the tangible assets, most likely scenario. So going back to Bitcoin and the similarities with the South Sea bubble of the 18th century, I have presented in the video called Bitcoin Death Soon. In that video I was mentioning that Bitcoin has all the structure of the bubble like the South Sea bubble, and I was giving a specific time frame for its confirmation, which is August and September. Little did I know that September 21 is the moment that we will see a massive rate hike. So from the time of that video, that will be you will be seeing around here. From the time of that video, I didn't know that the Federal Reserve was about to go this high and so fast. So the mainstream pundit media are also warning that the Federal Reserve may increase interest rates up to 1% because the market is pricing. So they are programming people like Pavlov dogs, getting ready there for the pain. So if they see the sound of the bells, the 1% in the media, everybody will be selling. So we saw a massive destruction in the gold price and the silver price, but silver price quickly corrected and gold tried to erase some of the losses. But Bitcoin stood pretty quiet in a range going nowhere. The fact is that bankers believe that the cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is just a international transfer system of 400 billion USD. I don't believe that the system could have that value, and they have multiple systems getting ready for that, for competition. So what is the competition going to be? The CBDCs, the digital dollar, the China dollar, the Russian gold-backed Russian ruble, that they are getting ready now with multiple countries and corporations and banks. But the fact that Bitcoin is so full of scarcity, and even though we have 8% inflation and it keeps extremely quiet in the range, that really looks like the invisible hand of the precious metal markets prior to a big dump. So this area here is a final straw, final moment for the survival of Bitcoin, the final battle for the survival of this pattern. If Bitcoin survives next week, maybe it will go all the way back to the highs, and that's it, and maybe a tiny correction. But if it doesn't survive this pattern, it reaches all the way back to the area 14 and 11 and 10K. That's the number everybody feels deeply inside. So yes, it looks like the South Sea bubble, and the money is entering like crazy. Why? Also in the silver market, there are being very weird scenarios, very weird data coming that the borrow rates are extremely high for the silver ETFs, and every time that happened this year, a silver dump took place. This is starting to look quite similar, because why the rush to bring Bitcoin to the market prior to a very important federal rate hike? So in this case, thanks to the recovery of the silver price and the ending of the waves and the pattern I was warning about, that crash, so I am neutral here. But I have to give you and remind you that I gave specific instructions that the Bitcoin death could happen beginning next week, or maybe a big crash all the way back to the 10K. So far we have been improving the quality of these signals every single month all around this year, using specific techniques that help me warn the silver community for the second time that they were about to dump precious metal last week. This is it. If you check that all the rumors, the Federal Reserve supported the Ethereum network for the Ameribor exchange that will be supporting all the transactions in the LIBOR interest rates that controls trillions of USD for the future. That's one of the most supported projects, but nobody knows. Other guys are telling that XRP is one of the best candidates, and now it has been recently announced that Amazon will be helping the European Central Bank for the payment systems. So it looks like the big tech will convert themselves into the big banks of the future, and they will control all the system, and the entry barriers will be cybersecurity risk. That's the most likely scenario that will happen, that we will find big tech companies converted into big banks. So this is the quick update. So the recommendation is that you follow the specific patterns and the specific pivots that Bitcoin is showing in the 4-hour charts. Let me go here. You will see that Bitcoin in the 4 hours candle charts is giving very specific anti-range. Let me go all the way here. You will see that Bitcoin is stuck for days in the area of 20.5, 20.8, and the lows are here 19,800 and 19,000, sorry, 19,000 is the number. Let me go a bit more lower there, the study, and if you get a new support after that, you go all the way back to 1850, 18,500 is the number, and we feel here there is nothing below that, nothing. So these two levels here, 19,700 and the 20,500, that will be watched by the traders, and they will be expecting a movement, and there will be also traders or swing traders trying to do the same in the 50-minute chart. So it will be very impressive volatility, and there will be needles and traps and bearish and bullish traps, everything in the intraday charts, like the good manipulation days of precious metals. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this update. Thank you very much.